This is why you're not getting booked with midterm rentals and, dare I say, lucrative midterm rental contracts in your marketplace. And in this video, I want to cover the 5 tips that can help you overcome this. So, why do we want to get booked in the first place? Well, if you're anything like myself and you have furnished accommodations and you're looking to maximize your profitability and maximize your occupancy, there's a certain way of doing things that we often overlook in the marketplace, or that I see most investors who are looking to maximize and get the most out of their midterm rentals and get these lucrative contracts, even from insurance companies, which is what we specialize in. They overlook these 5 things. So let's cover them, get straight to the punch. Number one, if you're not leveraging the most highly frequently visited website that there is out there, where most people even think about as number one as their go-to, where they've even coined the name within the industry, the most traffic, the largest of them all, then you are giving or shooting yourself in the foot and doing a huge disservice to you and your business, and that is Airbnb. Okay. You want to make sure that your property is on Airbnb, even if you don't have the intention of operating a short term rental model. I know if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you have no interest in dealing with Airbnb headaches that you've heard in the marketplace, high turnovers with cleaners. And by the way, it's not that bad when you do have a system in place, but it is time consuming and it is certainly not a passive business, especially if you're still working in it and it's self-managed. And even then, there's still some things that might get escalated your way. However, it is really important that if you do want to still be in the midterm rental space, that people think about Airbnb first. I was just on the phone with a homeowner who was looking for temporary housing who went to Airbnb first. And when I asked her if she knew what Furnished Finder was, she said, "I've never heard of such a name." So that's going to tie into my tip number 5, but I will save that for last. Put your property on Airbnb, even if you don't have intentions of being on Airbnb and doing the 3-night stays or 2-night stays. There is a way that you can set a minimum based on your appetite and desire. If it's 7 days, it's 7 days. If it's 5, it's 5. If it's 12, it's 12. If it's 14, if it's 30. Now, I will say, if your intention is to get a month stay minimum, I would highly encourage you, if you haven't gotten any traffic this way, to start with 7 days, because 7 days is going to allow you to still capture that 2-week booking. And something tells me that if someone comes in for 2 weeks and potentially extends for another week or so and gets to the month, that you wouldn't have minded in the first place, and you would have missed out on it if you weren't open for business. So be open for business on one of the largest OTAs, and that is Airbnb. If you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the midterm rental insurance blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it, and continue on with the gems in this video. Tip number 2. It is so important for you to make it easy for your customers to find you. Your customers in this case are potential tenants. Your customers can also be potentially some relocation specialists. And it's so important for you to be searchable, but also let them know what you're doing. So again, if I'm going to be on the largest OTA, aka Airbnb, OTA stands for online travel agent. Airbnb is a travel agent, just like booking.com, just like VRBO, etc. It's really important that you state what your company can do. If you offer flexible extension, great. If you are pet friendly, great, state that. More on this later. Very important. Pet friendly, pet friendly, pet friendly. Tell your customer what it is that you can do for them and make it easy for them to reach out to you. What's easy? Having a page where they can email your website, having your contact information. Do not get cute. This is not the time to get cute and not put your number, not be reachable because you're afraid of spam or etc. Whatever those fears that you have on the other side is an opportunity for someone to reach out to you and candidly actually need your help. So make it easy. Make yourself accessible on Facebook, make yourself accessible on LinkedIn, make yourself accessible on Google. People sleep on the Google pages. If you can Google and verify that page, now they have your contact info, they have your email, they have your website, they have your contact information. Like, what are we waiting for here, guys? Makes are self-findable and searchable. Okay, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, there's a specific need in the marketplace for larger homes because it's not the same product and it's a different problem that you're solving. It's not the 1-1, it's not the 2-2, it's a very different. And the 1-1s and 2-2s, that's 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. That might be cool for furnished finder, etc. But we believe in solving big problems because we want to have big profits, and that's probably why you're watching this. So therefore, why go for small? Instead of having 2 2-2s, I'd rather have 1 large 5-bedroom home or 1 large 4-bedroom home. And that comes from experience. The people that we've been able to serve are the ones who truly are in need of having space. And when you think of accommodating a family that needs space, they will pay top dollar. As a matter of fact, they won't pay top dollar. The relocation agencies would pay top dollar because mostly we're dealing with people who are dealing with their insurance company or relocation company or some kind of temporary housing company that will pay on their behalf. So if you're looking to co-host, buy, manage, go for bigger is always better. Yes, especially in this space, you will get more out of your bang for your dollar because you're solving a bigger problem. Therefore, you can be highly compensated for doing so. Okay, tip number 4. Become, you ready for it? Let me preface by saying this before I give you the tip. Put it this way. Do an exercise for me. Try it in your marketplace. Try to look for, I don't know, I said 4 bedrooms. So say 6 guests in your local market, in your local city. Go on Airbnb, go on Furnish Finder, and look for availability for the next, call it 31 days, right? See what's available. Now look at that number, whatever that number is. How many properties are available? Is it 20 in your marketplace? Is it 10? Is it 5? Is it 30? Now, even alone, because you went with a large group of 6 for 31 days, I'm sure that I can anticipate that number to be relatively smaller than what you would imagine because there's less inventory out there. That goes back to our tip number 3 of buying larger homes, serving a larger problem. There's less supply of this out there. Therefore, that's where I want to go. Okay, so I'm reinforcing tip number 3 in this example as I transition in tip number 4. But tip number 4 is key here. Do this for me. That was with a pet, right? Add a pet to those 6 guests. So now 6 guests plus 1 pet, 1 dog, 1 cat, whatever the case. Look at that number. Did that number decrease? Because if it did, then that is exactly what we're seeing in multiple marketplaces across the nation. I've done this time and time again on multiple, I've consulted multiple people on this. That inventory usually, wherever I'm looking, gets cut in half. So if you were looking at 10, you'd see 5. If you were looking at 100, you see 50. If you're looking at 15, you'd see about 7. What that tells me is that there's not enough homeowners who are making their homes pet friendly, and that is a huge disadvantage and disservice to the marketplace if you are indeed in the position to serve them, if that is your goal. So make sure your home is pet friendly. I can't stress this enough. I'm gonna say it one more time: pet friendly. This is probably the biggest one, pet friendly. And get over your hype, get over your fear, pet friendly, because on the other side of fear is an opportunity, pet friendly. And by the way, just so you know, I had internal pushback as well. My wife, my co-founder of our company, now can see that while we originally both had some pushback, collectively I should say, not just my wife, collectively we're like, yeah, we're not really huge pet people, but if the marketplace are huge pet people, then you as an investor should become a huge pet people, right? You should, right? If you're in the business to serve. If you're not, if this is just a hobby, if this is just, for you to feel good about owning properties and not maximize, and I'm not saying that to be sarcastic, I'm saying that to be genuinely true. Like, there's a difference between, knowing the information and data and going against the data, okay? And I try not to go against the data. I try to flow with the data, because going against the data is going against the grain, and I choose not to go against the grain. That's why I'm in this space that I'm in, because I want to get more with less, okay? And so if that's you, and you don't want to get 100 doors, not that you need to, whatever your goals might be, you can do this with just a couple doors. Matter of fact, you could just do this with 1 door. Matter of fact, one of my business partners believes that you can do this with a 2-door strategy, because the numbers that we see are astronomical based on the problem that we can solve. So like I said, I'd rather have a 4 than a 4-bedroom than 2 2s, solving a larger problem. And I want to make sure it's pet friendly. They will take care. There are measures in place where you can protect the amount of money you put in. I spend a lot of time on this because it's so important and so overlooked, and it's laughable because when you look at the data, it just shows you that just people are stubborn around this topic of being pet friendly when every homeowner has a pet. So where are they going to go without their pets? As a matter of fact, I had a homeowner tell me that they were thinking of putting their pet at the kennel because they couldn't find options. And if you're a pet owner, I know that's probably the last thing you want to do is separate your pet from your family, because your pet is eventually part of the family, and a lot of other homeowners believe that as well. Pet friendly. Number 5, tip number 5, you want to be on all platforms, because if you're on all platforms, let me say that one more time, you want to be on all platforms because there is a different way that each homeowner and each relocation specialist looks for properties that are available. Some go on Furnish Finder, some go in their database, some go on Airbnb, some go on Zillow, some call directly, which is what we love. They reach out to us directly, they email, they call, they do all of the above. So when you are wondering where to go, you should definitely think about being everywhere. So I even think about, do about it, be about it, be, do, have. You need to become the person that's everywhere so you can be the person that receives all the inquiries, which I'm sure is why you're watching this video. So if you got value from this video, make sure you click midterm rental omnipresence is what you need in order to make sure you have top occupancy and profitability in your marketplace.